The following program may contain strong language. All of the comments and opinions expressed do not reflect the views of anyone but those making said comments. If you decide to continue listening to this program, it is assumed that you are not easily offended and have a broad sense of humor. Now that all that's out of the way, enjoy! Yell when we start this up.
Who knows? I don't know. What the hell are you yelling?
I feel it gotta get the energy flowing.
I'm 5 feet from you.
Get him
You gotta
into it,
fucking
babe.
yell all the
Get
time.
him
It's like,
into it.
Jesus, if I had a hangover right now, I'd hate you. I hate you already. It doesn't matter.
Welcome everyone once again to the Mike and Billy Show,
Yay!
episode 8. It is Mike Wendt.
Billy Finnegan here.
And what are we going with today?
I'm gonna go with my Twitter handle, Wax Mustachic. You can follow me out there on the Twitter sphere.
Mustachic. I always meant to ask you about that. What mustachic?
Well, Mustachic, which would be like the call to the way that it's been broadcast. The mustache has been broadcast on everything. I came out with my own T-shirts, but you know it's all over the place. Plus the fact that it's like wax poetic, wax mustachic, wax. Yeah, shut up. I thought I was being inventive and funny.
You have no idea. That's one of those things that you were typing out your Twitter handle while you were drinking, and you just slipped your finger. Instead of hitting the enter key, you hit like I see.
Yeah. I thought I was being clever and
Did you?
And cheeky and
Did you?
Yeah, I did, but I'm not.
Is that more of that hipster knowledge you got?
A little bit.
On?
That's the reason why I'm doing the show. It's because it's ironic. Because I fucking hate this show. I can't believe I do this fucking show. Well, I have just degraded myself to do. No, that's not
Nobody
true.
else will do it. That's why you do it.
That's exactly why you asked me, because I'm the only person that's up at 3 o'clock in the morning on Facebook that you can talk to.
The only one that would say yes to me. I'm like, you know what? Billy will think it will probably be ironic that it would be cool for him to do it, so we'll get that hipster vibe going.
You know, gotta keep it light and tight. You know.
Yeah.
Gotta do it like my Brighton Alston peeps out there. Drinking
do it
the
till you're
Pabst
satisfied, babe. Do it till you're satisfied.
Hey, we just got back from I guess you call it pre-gaming for the show.
Sure.
I wasn't the one drinking PBRs.
I was.
Yeah.
Hey, it has nothing to do with the hipster connotation that it carries. It has to do with the 230 connotation that it carries. 2 hour and 36 tall boys.
Well, you know, because that's about what experience sellers get you these days.
Yeah. Cheap beer. That's about it. That's all it pays for nowadays is cheap beer
and a couple sliders. That's it.
Hey, man. Delicious. Speaking of that, worst parking lot in the history of parking lots, by the way.
Well, I'm just happy. Honestly, I drove in there expecting it to be like Providence Place Mall, and I thought I was going to have to fucking pay for parking. Luckily, the big sign said free parking for such and such, and I said, okay, that's cool. But yeah, awful. I mean, when you have like the row of cement beams, there was
far too many cement beams. It took me, I would say, 8 to 10 maneuvers to get out of my parking spot. Like,
well, you got a boat of a car though.
Has nothing to do with it. I was in that back side parking lot.
Oh, really?
So it was.
You should have been easy fucking clear. Right
so
there.
it was. I was kind of backed in. So if there wasn't a truck behind me, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that there was a truck behind me, I had to back out, back in, and out. And in. I did about a 97-point turn.
So you had to do like the 16-year-old girl on a driving...
Exactly.
On a driving lesson.
Exactly. Just hoping not to hit a curb or a squirrel on my way home.
Well, the squirrels, you know, they kind of deserve it every now and then.
I had 2 squirrels on my driving test when I was 16.
You're an asshole. You want to know what my driving test was? Pull out of the DMV.
Mine was.
Pull out of the DMV. Drive about 100 yards down the road, do a 3-point turn, drive back. That was my fucking driving test.
I think that's what most of them are supposed to be.
I think so too. I mean,
but every once in a while you catch that rogue dick of a fucking
that
trooper.
makes you do the 3-point turns, and then makes you do like, well, you got to do like 5 3-point turns in the matter of like 40 seconds.
Sure.
And then maybe a parallel parking job where you're balancing. It's like a Super Dave act where it's like you're balancing on like, you know, a barbed wire fence and
And you have a dog biscuit on your nose.
Dog biscuit, yeah. You gotta get the Oreo in the mouth as you're parking before Fonzie jumps the shark. Right. One of those fucking things. I don't know.
Yeah, we when I got my driving test, there was 3 of us from my school, me, friend of mine, and then some other kid from our school. Me and my buddy, high as shit. And the other kid
with a Stady in the car.
The other kid, was pretty straight-laced, I guess. I don't know what you'd call him nowadays, but without being a bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of those guys. So we go, and like I said, I hit 2 squirrels, almost ran a red light, and out of a 3-point turn, hit 2 curbs. Got my license. First try. My buddy basically had a similar experience.
Right.
Got his license. Third guy, the one who probably studied up and did all the shit right, gets back to the state trooper barracks, and the trooper pulls the manual out of the glove box, cracks the book, and starts quizzing him. He started reading like test questions.
Yeah.
Failed him.
Well, it's...
He gave the 2 stoners a license, no questions asked, and the technically good kid fails because he doesn't know the exact distance you're supposed to start slowing down to avoid a fucking yellow light or some such shit.
I'll tell you exactly why he passed you 2 knuckleheads.
Right.
Is because you 2 are going to keep him employed because he's going to pull your fucking asses over every second he gets.
Court dates.
Oh my god.
That's overtime, babe.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care. He's living it up. That's an Atari for his kids.
Here's your license.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a second honeymoon for him and the missus.
My wife
or
thanks
Mr.
you.
Whatever. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. You're just gonna keep him on the road and
I never
on
looked
his
at it
toes.
that way. That's actually a valid way of looking at things.
These fucking stoners coming in here. I'll show them.
We really were.
I'm gonna have them on the side of the road.
My first license picture was hilarious.
It's so funny that
I looked like Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I cheese before?
Oh God.
Basically, that
was an over dramatization of that man. But anyway,
that was my first license picture.
Yeesh.
Was that type of look?
Mine. I look like a.
I couldn't have been happier and had no clue where I was.
I was miserable in mine because I look like a white Ethiopian. Because at the time I was on the wrestling.
Because you thought you were like conforming to getting a license.
Yeah, so I didn't want to. No, I didn't hit the hipster stuff till. I didn't hit the hipster stuff real hard till college. But no, I was on the wrestling team at the time, so I dropped a bunch of weight, and because all of us wrestlers are anorexic. So I was pretty much skin bones. I was a white Ethiopian. I was on a rice diet, and didn't want to be there.
I was kind of on the wrestling team for a year. Kind of. The
way that you just looked at me and you give me the fucking finger quotes.
The air quotes. I was kind of on the wrestling team for a year. A couple of my buddies were on the wrestling team, and they told me to try out for it. And they thought I'd be good. I'm like, okay, fine. So I did it. I did one practice where I threw this kid in a headlock for about 45 minutes, and it was fun as shit. Then they started talking about making weight. I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, I'll just hang out with you guys and go to events.
The weight.
And I kind of became like the only way to describe it was kind of like the muscle of the wrestling team,
like the silent mascot
where,
almost.
Like I would fuck with the other team's locker rooms and shit. Like during the meet, I'd be the one going in and pissing in their shoes.
You're the Haitian. You're the hired gun.
Exactly. I would be the one that'd be waiting in the hallway and snatch a guy by his jacket and slam into a locker. And I mean, I was this size in high school. I was 6'3", 250 pounds in high school. So making weight wasn't in my fucking vocabulary.
Well, yeah, but you could wrestle heavyweight.
I could if I wanted to. I didn't like the singlet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry that it clashed with your style.
The shorts weren't long enough to conceal.
I see what we're saying here. Okay.
But
I guess we're working blue once again.
Yeah. Blue. That's a one color that you could describe it as. But yeah, and I never actually. Like I said, I only wrestled that one practice, but went to every meet, and I guess wrestled a couple guys in the hallways.
So you were the goon.
I was absolutely the goon.
If wrestling had a goon, you were the goon.
I was absolutely the goon of the wrestling
That's
squad.
Not bad. That's cool.
It was fun. It was my freshman year of high school. I didn't give a fuck. It was,
well,
it was
you
fun.
know, all the guys that I met there, they're nuts and they're a lot of fun and they got a great sense of humor about them and life. But yeah, they're madness. They're mad, crazy, and
it was great because I got to you know travel, like I said, travel with the team, have all the fun, and I didn't have to actually compete. So it was wonderful. It was all the benefits, none of the negatives.
It's really like going to summer camp or something like that. You know what I mean? Where you get all the fun, you get it, but you don't have to do any work.
I didn't have to bother, stretching out or anything.
Oh, stretching was actually the most fun part.
Was it?
Because it's relaxing.
Was it?
Yeah, it was very relaxing. It's like
jacking a 90-pounder up into a locker. That was the fun part.
Well, yeah, but for me, taking a kid, lifting him up, and slamming him onto a mat that was 3 inches thick, and hearing a bone snap, that was pretty fun.
I looking back, I never looked at myself as a bully until right now. but
the slow realization
of
pushing
one of the lightweights into a bank of snow and telling him I was going to bury him under the fucking school.
Yeah, that's you would pretty much be a candidate for the against the Be a Star programs.
But it wasn't
out there. You'd be public enemy number one.
In a bullying fashion. It was done in the spirit of the athletic competition.
Yeah, oh, okay, all right. Well, I guess if everything falls under the spirit of athletic competition here, no, that's bullshit. You would have been fucking roasted, toasted, and burnt to a crisp from someone on the what do you call it, the PTA. Oh my God, they would have sacrificed you with like goats' heads just hanging in the distance.
But that was back when men were men and we did men things.
All right, I'm sorry.
When kids had something called balls.
When we actually had recess instead of this other bullshit. When we didn't have sustained silent reading. What the fuck is this? You want me to fucking study over here? I'm grabbing my balls over here. I mean, that's, of course, yes, I agree with you. Look, the babying and the whatnot. I mean, look, bottom line is you want your kids to stand up for themselves. You want them to not be bullied. Tell them to punch the kid in the face and call it a day.
Sure.
Let's get back to just they should implement boxing in schools. If you got a problem with a bully, put the kids in the gloves, get them in the ring, have them fight, because you know what? That takes care of their physical education as well.
Sure.
It's going to keep them in shape, and it's going to settle any differences. You knocked the bully out, boom, you did it. The bully knocks you out, wow, that's a bully that actually, backs up his words.
But in this everybody gets a ribbon type of world, it's tough to give the kid a blue ribbon when he's got a busted nose and lip.
Well, you can still do it.
And he's crying.
Oh, he's certainly crying. And of course.
And the kid's got his foot on his chest, but hey, you get a ribbon for showing up there, Chief.
You got a ribbon for not having that asthma attack. Oh shit! Someone get his inhaler.
Can somebody get the nurse? Get an ice pack.
Thank God for that nurse and the ice pack.
Oh, that was wonderful. But she wouldn't give you a fucking Advil to save your life.
Seriously, let me out of class.
Drop an ice pack on your head.
That is the only.
But an Advil is like giving you fucking crack.
That is the only reason I ever gave blood at blood drives, is to get out of class. Only reason.
Okay.
Only reason.
They never even asked me. At least not that I know of. They didn't want my tainted blood.
Oh, man, it is very tainted. It's just full of bigotry and hatred. I don't even know what that means. I don't know why I just said that. Just first thing that popped in my head.
Wow.
Well, I'm sorry.
And I'm the one that saw Django today.
That's what I was going to say. We were talking about earlier, in the pre-show. talk about Django, and just the hilarity that ensued. And we had an actual discussion about the movie.
Sure.
But just thinking of Mike just going off on some random racist tangent today just because he's inspired by Jamie Foxx and Quentin Tarantino. I was in anticipation. I was like, I can't wait to record something because he's going to go off. He's going to say something really bad.
You were really hoping that this was going to be the last show we ever did.
Oh, man. Well, because we don't have any sponsors out there yet. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
We would never get them if we did that.
I know. So let's not talk about Django.
It was a great movie, though.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
Amazing film. I highly recommend anybody see it, especially in the theater. And
did you go to your? Did you see it at a regular theater? Or did you go to your little? What do you call it? The IMAX experience or whatever.
It's not in IMAX.
No, but what's the thing that you usually go to showcase where?
No, I went to the one in Revere. It was in the director's hall, is what they call it. It's the extra ticket charge or whatever. But
where you get the beer and the food?
No, that's the one in Dedham has the Lux level.
Oh, Lux, that's what I'm.
Which is very nice. They give you the nice big seat with the flight attendant button, so during the movie that she can come back and refill your Jack and Cokes for you.
And does she give you a complimentary blowjob at the same time?
Be wonderful. Be wonderful. But
wait, I didn't request the male
that's the
attendant.
deluxe service. Get over here, Big Mama. Bring that mouth with you.
Excuse me, is there anything else you'd like? No, I'm fine. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm good.
I'm on a date. Can't you wait till she goes to the bathroom?
Please, at least.
But
maybe no, take you home.
I would highly recommend it. I saw it. The screen was beautiful on a big screen because just for those. The big landscape spaghetti western type shots that he did, it was absolutely beautiful. It was a beautifully shot movie.
Cool.
And
well, that's the thing that I like about Tarantino is the on-site
and the acting was perfect. And I know I mentioned at the bar, only two actors in the whole movie, which those two actors' total screen time was probably 90 seconds at best.
Yeah.
That were not up to par was Quentin Tarantino himself and Jonah Hill.
Well, and you got to figure, I mean, Tarantino, like it's funny every now and then to see Tarantino, and Pulp Fiction's cameo was funny.
Sure.
Reservoir Dogs, it was funny. Like it was, every now. I mean, he basically had the beginning.
Doesn't know his limitations.
Right.
He doesn't know his limitations.
He really doesn't have to be in everything. Like, for instance, Grindhouse in Death Proof, in the bar, didn't really need to be in there. Wasn't needed. Like you had Kurt Russell in there. You had
and he kind of did the same accent. And he's kind of developed that. And Death Proof, he definitely did it. And this, he was kind of doing that same voice. And it's that I'm trying to be cool type of voice.
Yeah.
Like he's almost trying to do a 70s Travolta voice. If you remember
like
back,
a Sweat Hog style?
Not Sweat, fucking Saturday Fever.
Oh, that New York, New Jersey,
that
70s
I'm
thing.
fucking cool as shit.
It's funny because I actually just watched 54 was on last night.
Like you almost want him to be shaking his head as he's talking.
Yeah.
Like, hey, almost Fonzie-ish type of fucking voice. But
that's the type of person he is too.
His scene was great. Like everybody else around him, like he was in a scene with Michael Parks, who was Earl McGraw in From Dusk Till Dawn and a couple other movies, and of course Jamie Foxx, and his scene was great. It's just, I mean, it's Quentin, so you know once you see him on screen, you're not expecting an Academy Award winning performance.
But the thing about Quentin though is that he There's been times, obviously, in Grindhouse, I think is one, where he gets to obviously pick and choose the scenes he's going to be in, and he creates some Reservoir Dogs, great scene for him to be in because it was the beginning of the movie. It was fun. It was like lighthearted because you're gonna get into some serious shit in the rest of the movie. Pulp Fiction, kind of a lighthearted, funny scene, albeit a bit racist, but that was a great scene for him to be in. But again, Grindhouse, he picked that scene to put himself in
Well, he wouldn't have really fit in any other part of the movie.
Oh, absolutely. Unless he's getting his ass kicked by Zoe Bell, but like that's about it.
Each movie he does, his acting roles are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, which is not
like,
good.
You know, like you said, Reservoir Dogs. He was in the color naming speech. You know, Mr. Shit. Mr. Brown sounds like Mr. Shit. And then he was shot in the face.
Well, no,
it was just that those two.
But he did the Madonna scene, yeah.
The Madonna on the horse, yeah. But it was, it's still very minimal and very tightly edited.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, a little bit longer of a scene.
But it still was.
But again, very very fluid.
And the reason why it was there,
most of it was playing off Keitel.
Well, it's playing off Keitel. It's playing off Sam L. It's playing off Travolta. But it was a lighthearted scene, especially with a lot of. I mean, again,
it was a comic relief scene in the moment. They just shot the guy
because
in the
you
face.
just shot a guy in the face, you blew his brains all over the place.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I get it. This is funny, and his delivery and the interaction between the three of them, very funny. And it, you could say whether it was needed or not. It still had its place. Grindhouse is like what he serves shots to.
It was a long,
and it was long.
He
exactly.
was in a lot of that. I mean, he was in that whole opening scene of Death Proof.
I mean, from dusk till dawn, he was pretty much silent through the whole thing, but he had that really good vibe about him that he was so creepy and just because he was silent for.
That was also a lot of Rodriguez editing.
Yeah.
That wasn't a Tarantino chopping up his own movie.
True.
It was Rodriguez getting. First of all, I think he was more relaxed in From Dusk Till Dawn because he didn't have the weight of a movie on his shoulders. He wasn't the director. He had wrote it, but
he did.
His only job when he showed up at set was read his lines and go home and fuck around with Clooney and Juliet.
Right.
But when he's actually directing, I think there's more shit going on in the back of his head.
Well, of course,
so
he's got to think of where actors have to be, where the camera's got to be.
So he comes off more like he's mugging for the camera than he would if he was just concentrating on acting.
Right. I mean, to have all these things in the air. Plus, how many times can I show Uma Thurman's feet? It's
there was no feet in this one, actually. No. I mean,
then I don't want to see it. It's not a true Tarantino movie.
There wasn't a gratuitous foot shot.
Especially we're talking 1863. You said, right?
There was bare feet, but they weren't focused on camera. I mean, you could tell that. I mean, there was the slaves weren't wearing shoes.
I'm extremely displeased then.
But there was never that. There wasn't the. I mean, it's basically been Uma's feet. I mean, Pulp Fiction had her feet. Kill Bill had a shitload of her feet.
Oh my God, too much of her feet.
And then
I can smell
there was a few in Death Proof.
Especially
in the opening scene.
What's her face? Not. Oh God, what?
Jungle Julia.
Jungle Julia.
Her feet were in quite a bit of it.
Well, and she's hanging them out the window before they get just.
I bet he took that leg home. That's the leg that popped off in that
crash
scene.
It was so just like perfectly like jelly-like. And
it was great
when it just flops through the air. And it kind of, you know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of the spear that Lamar throws in Revenge of the Nerds, like the way it flows in the air and just the way it hits the light, just perfectly. It was
scientifically designed to complement his limp wrist style. Great fucking line.
That's one of the best lines, and that's right up there for me with the Christmas Story line of, like I said earlier, my father worked in profanities the way other artists work in oils and clay.
Right.
The limp-wristed line from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep. Just
perfect.
That was another thing about this that I even commented during the movie to my brother on was. He definitely does not buy into the whole digital age of filmmaking,
which I love.
And he's
him.
been interviewed many times, and he's openly pulling no punches, has said that the digital age of filmmaking is killing the film industry.
Well, absolutely. You don't have to look any further, and I know a lot of nerdist elites or whatever you want to say out there will agree, but Star Wars lost its charm when they weren't shooting on locations.
Sure.
and they weren't they weren't using models, and they weren't everything. Sure. Everything is now just guys in costume in front of a green screen. It's lost its charm, its uniqueness. That's the cool thing about seeing some films is for them to go and shoot on location and turn whatever area they're in into their vision. And that's what's the
it's not even just
thing
the
about
location,
film.
which the locations were amazing. The violence in the movie, like you watch it and you can tell it's old school fucking squibs and blood packs.
Yeah.
And the fucking wow. The amount of blood shed in the last, I'd say 15 minutes of Django Unchained is fucking amazing. And even my brother kind of leaned over during one of the final battle scenes and is like, good thing he didn't make it black and white like in Kill Bill. Because it's just red. And it's just squirting, spraying, fucking everything's getting shot to shit. It's fucking beautiful.
But you know what? Again, I even liked it when it was in Kill Bill and they shot to the black and white. I thought that was very, and again, not to use this, because I think this this adjective goes along with Tarantino very well, but the charm of Tarantino is to do something that you're not going to expect or something, make something just vividly beautiful, and to go to the black and white to, for instance, to use the anime sequence in Kill Bill.
Sure.
You know, and to put that into the story instead of just completely just, you know, hiring some little Japanese actress to play Lucy Liu and do the whole thing live action. It's like, that's really cool. So even to looking at what he did with Inglourious Bastards, it's, you know, the whole setup of Eli Roth's character coming down, the Bear Jew, and like how beautiful that looked in the long hallway, and you know what I mean, and like. Yeah, it was vicious. It was disturbing.
And
even
he had a
the ending.
Boston accent.
Oh, it was great. I loved it. I loved every second of
His
it.
His accent was horrible.
Oh my god, Teddy fucking ballpark! Like the perfect.
God.
And the funny thing is Roth is from here.
Yeah.
And yet he's still. I mean, he's up there with Damon and Affleck as the worst Boston accents. But
I still say 2F by C, Dennis Leary, worst Boston accent from a Boston guy ever.
But why is it that they pick out the stereotypical accent when they know Wahlberg's probably the only one that gets it right every time?
Yeah.
Because he's, you know, not only is he still from here, but I guess you just can't take the Dorchester out of the man, you know?
I would say in some cases, I almost, you want to say that they're doing a joke. They're sending back, it's almost like they're sending an inside joke to all of us back here.
Right.
Because we all shit on everyone who does a Boston accent. So it's almost like when you see a guy from Boston doing a terrible Boston accent, it's kind of like a wink or a tongue-in-cheek type of thing that we're all in on.
But it's not even that. It's like I understand what you're saying.
Because why else would
so many people do it?
No, not only that, but in that very scene of Inglourious Bastards, why else would Eli Roth decide to go that far and do those terrible references and the fucking over the top?
Well, I'll tell you why Roth did his like that, and the reason is because the way that scene is set up, and the drama of that scene, and you're seeing Eli Roth for the first time in that movie, and there's this long walk. He doesn't say a word.
Yeah, but that's only funny to us.
But still, no, it's funny to everyone. When this whole thing lays down, he doesn't say a thing to the guy. He kills the guy with a bat, and then what comes out of his mouth?
I guarantee
that's like the first time you ever laid eyes on Mike Tyson. He kicks the shit out of everyone, then he opens his mouth for an interview, and you're like, you that came out of him.
But I would guarantee
that's kind of funny.
you that 90% of the country doesn't get one of the references that he said.
No,
they don't know where the fuck Yawkey Way is.
Yawkey Way, no.
They don't know where Yawkey Way is. They don't get Teddy Ball Game. They don't get any of those things.
No, of course not.
They probably don't understand a word he's saying because his accent's so thick.
But again, that's the charm of it.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, I agree. It's over the top, like Affleck's is, like Damon's is. The only ones that seem to get it for some strange reason are the guys that aren't from around. Like Depp's in Blow was when he did Boston George. It's good. It's not great. It's good.
Well, the thing is the ones that do it subtly.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like Wahlberg obviously, but he's from here. God, I had another one. Another really good Boston accent. Oh, anyone in Mystic River. I thought Penn did all right, and
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins was his was bad, but everyone else in that movie, I think they got Southie pretty well in that movie.
It's the ones that don't. Because what I find, just knowing myself, and we don't constantly, and there are exceptions to every rule. But most people from here don't constantly talk in an accent.
No.
We'll slip every word or so. Like there'll be words that you can't get away from, or situations most of the time involve drinking.
Oh yeah.
I know if I'm hammered, that I'll absolutely.
If I'm off my fucking rocker.
If I'm fucking cocked off a beer, I will absolutely. Slip into a horrible Boston accent.
Oh, besides, if you're struggling to make a joke,
and that's
slipping into a bad Boston accent,
British accent,
yeah, right?
Just because I think it's funny and nobody else does,
right? Pip pip cheerio, fucking clocked.
We did it, fucking clocked, but it's the subtleties of it. See, because when you find that it's a bad accent in a movie, it's when they're never. They're over enunciating every single fucking word.
Right.
Every word has some sort of inflection on it.
Yes, they've almost just outthought this.
Like we
a little
can,
too much.
Like I can say the word the. I don't think I say the with an accent.
No.
But if you get an actor that's doing a terrible Boston accent, you'll get that.
Right. Right.
Every time.
It's like Jimmy Fallon in Saturday Night Live. Yeah. It's that characterization. But another one that I think actually nails it pretty well is Baldwin.
The funny thing was,
I think he did a great job capturing that type of Boston asshole
in Departed.
In The Departed.
Great character. Fucking amazing character.
And his was, it's funny because his was over the top, but it was the right type of over the top, you know? It was Sylvester Stallone over the top style. You know, it was Jim Carrey.
Around.
It was Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, talking out his ass to Tone Loc over the top.
The funny thing about Jimmy Fallon was he did a terrible accent in Saturday Night Live, but not so much in Fever Pitch.
Oh yeah,
and the movie was awful.
Well,
I'm not going to sit here and defend Fever Pitch.
First and foremost, that movie was supposed to be about soccer anyway.
Right.
Football.
And they were supposed to lose in the end.
And they were supposed to lose, but they reshot the whole fucking thing. And that, again, to bring back the word of the day, lost its charm in the movie. If there was ever any charm in that fucking movie, if they had lost, that would have been it. But no, they had to reshoot it because the Sox won the series because it was the first time in 76 years.
Come on now, know your history.
I don't give a shit. It was fun, but whatever. The team sucks now. I'm just happy because I can probably finally go to a game and afford it now.
Really?
$5 tickets.
Are they going down now?
You didn't hear?
Are they going down now?
You didn't hear what they were last year?
No.
They were like $3.
Really?
There was tickets on StubHub for $3.
I know they've been selling out every game since the creation of tickets.
That's what
yet
they
every
say.
time the camera pans the crowd, it's empty.
That is a complete carny lie.
I love that one. We're completely sold out, yet the bleachers are empty.
Yeah, you just see red seats everywhere. Unless everyone's wearing red.
Everyone's
taking
a piss at that very moment. You just happen to fuck up your camera shot.
It's the seventh inning stretch. Don, it's the fourth inning. We just actually resumed play here. It was a rain delay. No, it wasn't even rain delay. It's sunny out. Fuck you.
No, I've been to I would say in the last 10 years I've been to one game a year and I've gotten tickets comped.
Well, and yeah,
I have no interest in.
But again, see anything that
the last time I paid for a ticket, I can honestly say the last time I remember paying for a ticket was high school when they were $10 seats.
Oh man!
After their lockout, the
90,
baseball lockout,
95,
and then McGuire Sosa came back and kind of brought the game back.
Yeah.
But those were great. $10 bleacher seats, and you could smoke in the bleachers.
Well, see, and that was always the fun thing. And to go back to Boston accents, sitting in that crowd with the real Red Sox fans, And, they're just calling everyone out and just being obnoxious, loud assholes. And my father took me there first time, because it's funny, it seems like the only team that I've ever really seen on more than one occasion was Baltimore Orioles, because no one wants to go to a fucking Orioles game around here. So that's the tickets that everyone always gives up. So I've seen
a lot of Boston people will travel to Baltimore Oriole games
to see a game. It's ridiculous.
It's kind of like Bruins fans going to the Islanders games because they're dirt cheap.
Absolutely.
You can get glass seats for $50.
And it's like, so, I've seen the Orioles so many times, and but my dad had taken me there. I was a big, as most kids were growing up for me, I was a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan, Seattle Mariners fan, so he took me to a game. I think it was one of my first games to go, and
it's because his Diamondback rookie card was worth like $50.
Fuck yeah! So, and to go along the lines of, and I know we're skipping around a lot in this one, the give the kid a ribbon days that we're in right now,
right?
And the shelter the children, somebody think of the children. My dad sat me down before the game, like a good parent should, and said, "Hey, you're going to hear some things in this ballpark right now. Just want to let you know you don't repeat them. You don't want to say these things." He was a parent.
That's an overly responsible parent.
And then and my dad, he's having
shocking.
He's having a couple beers, but he's buying me hot dogs, he's buying me drinks and all this stuff. Non-alcoholic drinks, by the way. And right. I'm hearing guys going off and, "Oh, fuck you, Noma. Like, what the fuck are you doing over there? You call that a strike? You fucking..." And it's like, I can hear these things. My dad's telling me not to say them. I'm not going to say them, but it's pretty funny watching the 300-pound guy right next to me just covered in mustard and Budweiser. And he's, and he's just going off and he's screaming. He's going to have a heart attack. But it's a part, again, of the charm of it all. And that's what you miss nowadays in the park, because you can't do that. I got lectured. You
get yelled at very easily
I
now.
got yelled at not the last time, but the time before I went, and again, seeing the Baltimore Orioles, and I get up and I'm in the bleachers. I've never been, on the right field wall before, and I always wanted to sit in a different place in that park. So I'm sitting at the right field wall. There's the visiting pitcher, and he's getting up to warm up. When you go to that ballpark and you're in those stands,
sure,
you've got a responsibility.
Sure.
You got to get in that pitcher's head, no matter even if you care about the game or not.
Right.
You got to have some fun with it. So I'm razzing the pitcher, and I'm really getting under his skin, whereas he keeps turning around and looking at me, and I know I'm doing something right. And there's people around me saying, "Oh my God, we drove up from here, and you're really funny. You're the funniest guy I know." And it's like, well, obviously you don't know anyone,
right?
But then, what do I get is the jackass down in 10 rows down in the front row with the kids and everything, and the mother stands up and goes, "Excuse me, but your taunting is offending our ears over here, and you're offending my children. Can you please stop?" So I say, "Whatever. All right, fine." So I stop. Come ninth inning, Papelbon's coming out. They start blaring Dropkick Murphys. The father gets up, because I'm watching this whole thing.
The father of the kid who you apparently offended.
Yes.
Okay.
The father gets up and he starts doing a stupid jig, because that's the thing that you did when Papelbon was around. So I immediately got up and I yelled down to the woman that just yelled at me 2 innings ago, and I said, "Excuse me, can you please have your husband sit down? His dancing is offending me right now." To which everyone around the crowd, is laughing about. But it's like, okay, I didn't pay for my tickets, but I'm still here. I'm trying to support the team. Fuck off.
Right.
If you don't want to hear, do what my dad did and tell your kids, actually parent them and tell them, you don't want to say these things. You don't want to repeat this. People are just having fun. Don't worry about them. You know what I mean? It's like people just, instead of them actually parenting, they'd rather you just not do anything.
Right.
It's just.
They'd rather shelter them.
And that's pretty much a good portion of the reason why I don't really want to go to sporting events anymore. Bruins games, when there's no lockout, are a lot of fun, and they're a great time, and everyone's in on it. You know what I mean? And even I hadn't been in a long time, and I went last year, the year before, and watching the trivia on the Jumbotron, and people just getting really into it. It's like that. It's almost like you're part of something when you're at a hockey game.
Right.
I mean, obviously at the Fenway, it's all about the 7th inning stretch and Sweet Caroline. And Patriots games, it's just all about cheering on Tom Brady, but that's it. It's just Tom Brady's the only person we know, and Wes Welker, and that's it. And then basketball, fuck that. That's not even a sport. Sports suck. But whatever.
Sports sucks.
Seriously, I'm so envious of my friends that don't watch sports. But I grew up in it, so it's like I still pay attention to it. Right. It's like, what the hell? Like, I remember getting really pissed off when 2007 Patriots lost the Super Bowl, and I stopped myself for a minute in the car, and I'm going, why am I so upset about this? It's a fucking game that I don't really care about, and then after that I was just like, I'm never going to care about this that much ever again.
My ongoing joke for years was because it just so happened that for many years, up until probably the last 2 or 3, the Bruins would always be playing in Montreal on Super Bowl weekend. They would have a Saturday game, and it would always just work out that on Super Bowl Sunday I'd be in Montreal watching a hockey game. Mm-hmm. So every time I would catch shit, especially like from when I'm on Facebook or whatever, and to be a big fucking game going on, and I'm fucking talking about hockey, and somebody's like, "Oh, Patriots are playing." I'm like, yeah, dude. I spent the 2 or 3, however many fucking Super Bowl wins the Patriots have. I was in Canada watching hockey. This is how much I care about this.
Besides the fact that anyone actually saying that to you, of all people,
it's just,
do you not know who Mike Wendt is?
Basically, if you're telling me you know nothing about me, why are you even on my Facebook?
Again, if you go on Mike Wendt's Facebook, and I believe me, I'm encouraging you all to do so. It's basically, movie reviews, dick and fart jokes, and hockey. That is it.
That's about it.
And it's fun. It's entertaining.
Keep it light.
And especially during the lockout, and I enjoy hockey, and I wish hockey was around right now. But during the lockout, I like to poke the bear every now and then.
Occasionally, when I have to leave the house, I'll bitch about people. But I had to. That happened this week, actually.
I like watching to see what on the Facebook scroll to see what movies you're watching at home on Blu-ray. Which Blu-rays you just picked up?
What the fuck was it? I was out. I was working New Year's Day, and I had to. It was just another fucking reason why I hate leaving the house. Nothing went well. I leave work. I got to go to the bank, and I got to go get gas.
Of course, it's New Year's. Of course.
What a fucking garbage holiday!
It's not even a holiday.
It's a fucking. Oh my God, do I fucking hate New Year's?
It's a stopwatch day. You're counting down.
It's for fucking. It should be one of those days.
It's New Year's is honestly just watching your odometer. That's what it is.
Absolutely,
you're waiting for it to click over.
It's taking the old calendar off the wall, putting a new calendar up on the wall. That's about as much of a fucking holiday as it is.
I mean, are we going to make a holiday out of changing light bulbs? Because that's pretty much what we're talking about.
Here's my problem with New Year's Day. Okay. New Year's Day should be treated the same as the day after St. Patrick's Day.
What, just a big cleanup?
It's a hangover day.
Yeah.
And
that's how I treat it.
And it should be it's accepted if you call into work that day, or if you show up and don't do a great job that day. All right. That day you get a pass. But to have it be a fucking holiday where businesses are closed, I couldn't get gas that day. I couldn't get gas in my fucking car. The goddamn and the ATM being fucked up had nothing to do with it being New Year's. It was just another thing on that day that fucking pissed me off. I couldn't get fucking cash out of the ATM. I couldn't get fucking gas at the thing. And of course, every fucking douchebag was on the road. I have a 7-minute commute, and I got cut off 3 fucking times. I wanted to murder I fucking hated it. And it was just one of those things that it's just like, this is why I don't leave the fucking house. I can't fucking deal with it.
No, it's true. It seems like every one of those types of holidays, especially drinking holidays, because that's really all New Year's is. New Year's, obviously St. Patty's Day, Cinco de Mayo, drinking holidays. Every douchebag comes out the next day.
But the difference is, Cinco de Mayo, St. Patrick's Day, people work on those days.
Right.
Technically, I mean, a lot of people take it off.
Well,
everybody takes it off.
They're skimming through the day.
It's not a mandatory day off.
Yeah.
Which New Year's Day is.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with it because we here in Radio Land, I get an extra work day.
Right.
I get an extra few hours of fucking pay, but all you other douchebags out there with fucking businesses shouldn't be taking it off. Because you know what? That fucks my life up. and I don't give a fuck. I'll be the first to say I'm a very selfish person when it comes to shit like this.
It's fine.
Because you know what? I have very simple, I won't say pleasures, but simple needs in life.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not out there looking for extravagant shit. I need to get my tank of gas filled. That's it.
Well, because you got to get somewhere.
That's it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why was January 1st, 2013 so important that these fucks needed to take it off so I couldn't fill my tank? I know I'm coming off as a selfish asshole, but you know what? Fuck, it's a stupid holiday.
Yeah, but you know what? For those,
there's no need for January 1st to be a fucking an actual day off holiday. Because you know what? You're belittling all the other holidays. You're belittling Jesus.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna bring it there.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna take it there.
Oh no!
Because you're basically putting you're putting the calendar roll over. I can't hear a word you're fucking saying, but I know you're talking shit. You're putting the calendar rolling over on the same category as Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
4th of July, the nation's holiday.
Yeah.
The nation's birthday, where the fuck you want to call that?
Sidebar.
Fucking cunts.
Wait a minute. So, obviously.
All of this based on the fact I couldn't get gas, by the way.
Obviously, I'm a fan of the internet.
Sure.
And I found a picture the other day. some stupid broad on Twitter. I'm sorry, and I know not all women are like this, but again, the generation that I hate.
Hey, stereotypes come from somewhere.
I know they come from truth. The generation that is after me right now, not literally, but the generation next in line.
Basically,
the future,
the people that are going to be taking care of us when we're old and shitting in diapers. Got it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Girl tweets up. Happy 2013th birthday, America. For New Year's.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh, we're all going to hell.
I have no patience anymore for anybody.
Wow, it's a that's the same. That's the
my
same
fucking
people.
Commute from the movie theater to the bar tonight. More just again. I need teleportation. I really do. I need that technology.
You need a hoverboard.
I need a helicopter. I need to get away from you fucking people.
We need no roads.
Oh, so aggravating. And I'm not an impatient driver. That's the fucked up thing. I
can be very patient, but for me,
I'm a very patient, very laid back driver. I'm not an erratic driver. I'm not a dangerous driver.
When it comes to driving, it's the lack of common sense of people. That's what pisses me off. It's not even that, I'm going to be late. Like, I don't want to be late. Usually I try to leave with enough time to give myself, cushion to get there to my destination. But it's like when you just see moron just cutting in front of people, or and I know everyone shares this one, but you're in traffic on the highway, and obviously there are signs that say lane closed ahead. So you merge over and you say, okay, let's all get in this lane.
Sure.
And then the jackasses are still just driving down, zipping by, because, oh my God, this is great. It's like free real estate over here. Look at this. It's like you're riding in the prairie. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to merge now. You're creating the fucking problem. Right. You dumb douche nozzle. You fucking piece of shit. Get out of my way. I seriously, if I just had, sometimes I wish I had Gravedigger, I had Bigfoot, just rolling these people over. Don't care. Don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, because you just don't think. But, then again, I just, you just bite my lip and hope for a tumor later on.
You do.
That's it. You just hold it, or you yell out in the car, and then you look like an asshole because you're like, the vein is about to pop in your neck, and you're trying to turn up the loudest head-banging music that you can, so you don't sound like a nutbag.
So many times, I've thought to myself, it'd be a funny bit to videotape myself as I drive.
You know what? Maybe we'll do that for a special show.
So many racial epithets.
Maybe one of these days we'll take this show on the road. We'll go to Canada when hockey season comes back. We'll take a trip up to Canada. We'll do a road trip and we'll film the fucking thing and put it on the Facebook. There you go. Bonus party.
It's not bad, but
this will be on top of the Mystery Science Theater episodes we want to do and other fun things.
But it's not even like I found road trips are very relaxing drives.
No, and they are.
It's the short commutes. It's the driving.
All right.
Just driving with people on a Tuesday.
I got it. Okay. I got it. We'll do a Tuesdays with Mike and Billy. We'll do it like Bill Burr did, the tour of Boston. Drive around.
Yeah.
And just show what it's like.
Oh.
Obviously, most of the people that are listening, all 6 of you, probably understand what it's like driving in Boston and traffic anywhere. But major city traffic is like, well, how does this happen? And then don't get me started on bicycles and just dumbasses. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Next topic, please.
Yeah. Fucking hate them.
Speaking of which, want to talk about road rage? Did you hear what came down in Washington today? The ruling?
What?
A federal court has ruled that it's a constitutional right or whatever, or it's a non-arrestable offense now to flip the bird at a police officer.
Yeah, I'm with that.
I'm not gonna be the first one to try it. But no
longer
can the cops pull you over for flipping them off.
Well, let's be honest. I don't think police ever have pulled you over for flipping them the bird.
Well, apparently this
if you
one
do flip
guy
them
said
the bird, they will find a reason to pull you over.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you get.
Nobody's ever been arrested for giving the middle finger.
Well, this one guy that why he was bringing it up is he got pulled in for. I can't remember what the hell the news story was, but it had to do with, conduct, or he was trying to get my attention for something, and there was like a speeding thing, but then that got thrown out and all this other shit. But, I mean, first off, what does it really prove to flip off a cop? You're pegging off. Well, first off, what does it really do unless you're Stone Cold Steve Austin? What does it really do to peg anyone off these days? Like you could say worse shit to someone that's going to really offend them. This does nothing. And I'm holding out my middle finger. This does nothing.
And after, especially coming off that last me in traffic story, the funny thing is that that's never been my go-to thing. Because if you're in that situation, the person that if you're flipping them off, the person you're flipping off is just as pissed as you are.
Yeah.
So I like to blow them kisses.
Oh, that's actually better.
Or give them a nice friendly little wave or something like that, because that fucking pisses them off even more.
Well, that goes along, and I really do enjoy the kill him with kindness routine.
It's kind of like fucking Jesus in Big Lebowski fucking blowing him kisses as he walks by.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much more callous than flipping them off.
It's true. Because that's just really getting...
That's just like, you mean shit.
Well...
You don't even have me that upset that I have to flip you off.
Exactly. And it's not even... It's not allowing them... It's almost like if you flip them off, that gives them the right almost, or the justification to be as pissed off as they are, that they got to. But if you do something totally out of the blue, just blowing a kiss, waving, bat in the eyes, I don't know, doing something stupid and flirtatious, that's kind of funny. And really, that's more for the comedic flair of it all, and I enjoy that.
That is the little bit of levity that I bring myself in traffic.
And
getting under somebody else's skin.
Mike, I would much rather you do that than pull out a crossbow. So.
Well, yeah, that got taken away.
I can't do this on my own. This is your idea, okay? And I'm not doing this from inside Walpole Prison or wherever they're gonna ship you.
We when I was back I'd say 16, 17, bringing it back to the license story. My first car was an '88 Camaro T-tops.
You look like a Camaro guy.
Yeah, definitely fucking 90s Guinea all the way.
With the Canadian tuxedo on, and the horn. You got the Italian horn going.
I actually do have an Italian horn. I do.
See, I'm part Italian. I don't have a horn. I'm so happy.
I have a horn. Years went by, and I actually upgraded to the Elvis TCB lightning bolt. The very
GTS
nice
lightning bolt.
But one day, me and a bunch of my buddies were crammed into the Camaro, and we're bored.
Yeah.
We're on Route 1 in Saugus, coming out of the McDonald's, and our intentions that day were to go to Good Time Billiards in Somerville. When that was still around, because that's something we would do. We would go and smoke and play video games and have a good afternoon.
Go to the drive-thru and run someone over.
Exactly. Well, we were coming out, and this kid who was obviously on his permit, driving with his dad and his father's Miata convertible.
Oh, he's getting late on that one.
Cut me off. So, in the interest of boredom, we forego our plans to go play video games and smoke cigarettes, and instead chase this guy for 45 minutes.
Why?
Randomly pulling up beside him.
Obviously, gas at that time was $1.39 or whatever.
Cents.
Not okay.
98 cents a gallon. 98 cents a gallon back then. It was a beautiful thing. And we chased him for 45 minutes through many, many towns at about 90 miles an hour or so. And occasionally pulling up beside him, and one of my friends would pop out and threaten to murder him or something, or rape his wife or some such shit. And,
so niceties. You were killing them with kindness then.
And all the while, laughing. It was one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life.
You basically did Super Troopers before Super Troopers.
I was a trendsetter.
Right.
I was a visionary.
Right.
I had that.
Well, what you don't know is that
I had that here.
What you don't know is the father in there was actually one of the.
It was one of the Broken Lizard guys, and he fucking took that.
He took it and ran with it.
He took that, and he hasn't given me my $20 fucking commission.
It was a friend of his, and he came back and he said, "Well, and this is a great story, and this is what happened." And he tells the story, and then the guy goes, "All right, we'll just picture that in Vermont." And boom,
state troopers.
We got our. By the way,
meow.
Do you know they're doing a prequel to that?
Yep.
Awful.
Yep.
Awful.
I've heard worse ideas.
Well, yeah, but it's still awful.
I've heard worse ideas. They made worse movies.
They certainly did. Every movie after that.
I didn't mind Club Dread.
Oh, it was awful.
I didn't mind it.
Fuck you, it was bad.
I didn't mind it.
Terrible.
Jordan Ladd was naked in it.
That was about the only good thing.
Dude.
Yeah, but I can go on the internet and see that. I don't have to watch a fucking movie.
What do you think? I watch anything off of Netflix? I didn't. Yeah. They haven't really done much though. I mean, the guy who directs them, Jay Longname.
Yeah.
He's directed quite a bit of stuff. A lot of TV. He did a lot of the Arrested Development episodes.
Yeah. Which probably the only other good thing besides Super Troopers that he's done, because the Dukes of Hazzard was crap.
The opus that was Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, it was
Knoxville and Jessica Simpson.
And and really, I don't know if it's just me because I grew up as a fan of the Jackass stuff, but I love Knoxville, and it's like I'd love to see him do something good. The Ringer was actually okay. His part in the in Walking Tall was okay.
Hold on a second. My problem with The Ringer was
that he didn't get knocked out somehow and then
the comedy was lost on the fact that I kept watching the actual actors with Down syndrome, and I kept being like, wow, he remembered all his lines.
Oh, you're an asshole.
I'm being quite honest, and it's not an insensitive thing.
No,
it was actually like being impressed with this actor because he has special needs, and
you know
he
what?
actually remembered all his lines and pulled off a great performance. And there was more than one.
You're right. You're right in what you're saying.
They had a cast of special needs people.
And the only thing that believe me, because I had this conversation with someone else not too long ago about The Ringer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been my girlfriend. Was that and not to I don't know, not to trivialize it, but I've always been a fan like trying. I know it sounds awful. Of the kid, the kids who suffer from Down syndrome. They're just. Hear me out. I think they've got a great outlook on life because it's the innocence. I don't know. This is just me. I enjoy horsing around with them and laughing and joking. I think they got a great personality. I think they're the most genuine people that you'll meet. Yes, this is the truth, okay? I'm trying to get sentimental here.
I believe you.
Put your fucking heart on your sleeve and listen up.
I'm curious about the horsing around bit.
No. This isn't some Jerry Sandusky bullshit, okay? I'm not like that. That's disgusting. Don't lump me in with that asshole.
Give me my headgear and Vaseline. We gonna wrestle.
No. Because I've had a lot of experience with kids like that, and they're great. They're wonderful souls.
Sure.
So yes, I could see your point there in that movie because I was rooting for them because like these kids are doing something that
I was just impressed with their acting chops.
These kids are doing something that Jessica Simpson certainly can't do,
right?
Or or like Jonah Hill can't do.
There you go.
They're delivering funny lines. They're very charming on the screen. And they're certainly outshining Knoxville and everyone else that's in this movie that's supposed to be an actor. It was a charming movie, but yes, it definitely did suffer from the fact that these kids are and guys are outshining the actual actors, right. And it is kind of taking away from the film itself. It was an okay movie, and you also you knew exactly what was going to happen in the movie. Yeah. It's a cookie cutter movie. Sure. And they didn't take it to the full extent that they could have. Like they could have made it way more offensive.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like there was, and I'm half glad they didn't. But
it wasn't a good enough movie to be offensive.
No, it wasn't a good enough premise either. Because it's a lose-lose situation.
In order to go to that place, that offensive, especially with that content, in order to go to that offensive place, you need to have a really solid fucking movie behind you in order to just not be a blackballed offensive movie.
Right.
Because if it's a shitty movie, like you said, it wasn't the greatest movie of all fucking time. And if the fact that it was overshadowed by the fact that all I was paying attention to was the special needs actors, that means the story wasn't all that compelling.
Right.
Therefore, you can't get too fucking.
But again, it was a
controversial.
It's a cookie cutter. I mean, it's take scenario A and just put it in this thing, or scenario B and just put it in this setting, and then just change a few things around. It's the same. It's the guy that it's the grifter who cons everyone. And then learns his evil ways, but still gets caught in the end, right. Or does the right thing. Right. It's the Grinch. It's the fucking Grinch, right. With Down syndrome kids,
right.
And it's like, it's not revolutionary. It certainly wasn't meant to be, but yeah, it was pretty much just hey, this is great to watch these kids succeed at something that obviously a lot of people probably didn't give them credit for.
I got mistaken as Knoxville once.
I got a friend that was mistaken for Bam Margera once, so we should get you two together.
It was it was
You don't look anything. I mean, I could see it in the face.
It was 2005 and about 50 pounds lighter. Mm-hmm. And we were at the only way to describe it, a lesbian party in Oakland.
Okay. And I can see Knoxville there.
Yeah. I think my friend might have egged the story on. I was out on the deck. We were there. I didn't know anybody. It was like a friend of a friend of a friend invited this one person, mm-hmm. and we all tagged along just because we were on day one of like a 14-day road trip in the West Coast, and I was on the back deck of this apartment having a cigarette, and all of a sudden, like 3 girls came out and started taking pictures with me. And I was going through my phase where I was not taking my sunglasses off.
Did you have the aviators on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the dark.
Oh yeah.
Inside. Wasn't budging on that.
I don't even think Knoxville's your height either. I think he's like
no idea.
I think he's like 5'10".
But I was not budging on it, and I was kind of being a pretentious dick. So you could have seen the little bit of celebrity thing rubbing off, and and all of a sudden I'm like literally there was like a line forming. I wasn't arguing because I kind of like the attention.
Of course.
Especially,
from the female perspective.
A room full of semi-attractive to attractive lesbians.
Yes.
Hugging up on me and taking pictures of me and treating me like I'm some kind of special something without any prior knowledge, not even knowing why they were doing it. And then I think it was one of my buddies that finally told me, it's like, yeah, they think you're Johnny Knoxville. I'm like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. And then I really start hamming it up.
Oh, yeah.
Then it really starts.
Well, as long as it doesn't turn into, all right, now why don't you do this stunt? And it's like,
oh, yeah. Yeah. No. The second someone pulls out the staple gun is when I take my sunglasses off and go, joke's over.
Because that right there is why it sucks. It must suck to be them.
Because they're constantly.
Knoxville's more of a host for that thing, and he does occasional, dangerous stunts. But like, imagine being those guys with something like that and having to do a constant stunt or having to be on. It's like the same thing as being a comedian and going out somewhere. It's like, say something funny.
Right.
Or I got friends who are magicians. It's like, do a trick, do another trick. It's like
no.
Fuck you, dude. Like, you want me to do all this shit? Pay me.
Right.
I do this. I do it for fun, but I also do it for a job. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Knoxville's 6'1", by the way.
Oh, there you go. So it is marginal. I'm 6'3". So I could be passing as that.
Well, it's funny because I think you look more like Knoxville now than you did back. I've seen pictures of you back then, and it's like, well, you had a little more of the Guido in you than the Knoxville look.
Yeah. I think it was also. I think it helped that I had just been on a 9-hour flight.
Yeah. Well,
so I had that look about me.
Yeah, he always looks a little strung out.
Yeah.
Which I would be too if I'm
unshowered,
fighting alligators and wrestling boa constrictors.
Yeah.
And
the unwashed. The unwashed, kind of haggard look about me, and like I said, not taking off the sunglasses and having the hat pulled down.
Hanging out with Bam Margera for weeks on end.
Yeah,
just constantly.
It'll do it to you.
Getting nuts rubbed in your face. Ugh.
That'll do it to you. But so that was my New Year's.
We're back to New Year's. I forgot all about that.
What did you do? We really covered my hatred of New Year's. What did you do?
I stayed inside. I made a puzzle. Fuck you.
There you go. Good for you.
Hey, great.
Thanks for listening. Fucking cunt. Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
But there you go. And that's that. I think that's that.
I'm pretty sure
we're getting towards that time now.
Yeah, I didn't drink enough to do this right now to keep going. So before we go, I do want to say again, and then this is not begging, but if anyone's out there willing, wanting to sponsor,
sure,
we are more than willing to talk.
If you have a business that needs advertising, there are many ways to get in touch with us. One of the ways is definitely our Facebook page.
Yeah.
So that's a very easy way. We're very we're reachable.
Extremely reachable.
We're track downable, if you will. Yes. So if you have something that needs plugging on a stellar, soon-to-be award-winning show as this, this.
And again, we're negotiable. We're talking cheap prices here.
Yeah.
Get your business out, your local business. I know times are tough.
Yeah.
But every little bit counts.
Give me $1. I'll put something in my mouth.
Let me. Okay, Knoxville. Let me.
It's one of those types of plays.
Help me help you, baby. I want to be your Jerry Maguire. Okay, so there's that. Any comments, concerns, criticisms, funny quotes, funny pictures? Post them up on the Facebook page. Like us out there, the Mike and Billy Show.
Like us.
Follow us on Twitter, if you want.
Mine's simple. It's my name.
Yeah, I know.
Mike Wendt.
Shut up. Go ahead and get the OG Mike Wendt at Mike Wendt on Twitter, at Wax Mustachic for yours truly.
That's right.
And again, we also take
bribes.
Well, certainly bribes, but requests. If you want us to talk about something fucking stupid, whatever you want. If you want us to shut up for 20 minutes, we'll just put 20 minutes of nothing on. If you'd rather us, we're tossing around an idea of doing a Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you got a bad movie or a good movie that you want us to totally shit on, let us know. Whatever you got. But thank you.
We're like Pesci in that fucking Family Guy episode. Give me a nickel, I'll say a word funny.
Exactly. we're sort of like whores or sluts for your entertainment, though. And you know, no troubles of VD.
So once again, we're gonna bring it back to our mouths are for sale.
Oh my God. Anyway, so thank you all for listening. Thanks for continually checking out the show. And please
thank you.
Please tell your friends out there as well.
Tell your friends. Tell your parents. Kids, seriously, listen up.
Tell your grandparents. I don't care. I'd love to be responsible for saying something that just killed someone. So anyway, that's about that's about my time of the show, and I'm done.
Her last words were, "That fucking Mike and Billy show."
I hope so.
See you next week, folks.
Bye-bye.